here today with Jordan Bingham. Jordan is the founder of LendSafe. Jordan, do me a favor. Walk me through a little bit about what it is that your company does and why you decided to kind of jump into this field.
Sure. So we at LendSafe, our purpose is ultimately to help mortgage lenders better protect their borrower data. We do that through helping them implement and maintain a robust cybersecurity plan that includes training, vulnerability scanning, assessments for their employees, as well as kind of operational auditing.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot.
So we originally, the plan kind of came up as I'm part owner of a broker shop.
Oh, okay.
And we were looking at, how would we go about implementing a cybersecurity program in our own company.
Right.
And as we did that, we realized there weren't a whole lot of resources or companies out there that were able to provide that service in a manner, so that we could afford it.
Got it. It's hard when you're a smaller shop. You're right. So many of the cybersecurity programs out there, they're geared toward those big banks. They're geared towards large mortgage lenders. So I think this is a really great idea that you came up with. How long has LendSafe been around?
Thanks, LaDonna. Yeah, so LendSafe's been around for about a year now. So we're still a newer company, but you're right. We're kind of trying to step in and fill that gap. They're for smaller to medium-sized mortgage shops that you really don't have the resources to go out and to hire an entire team of cybersecurity professionals or even one person in-house to do it all for you. So our goal is to help bring that to every mortgage, make it accessible to every mortgage lender, regardless of how big or small you are.
Got it. What is kind of your typical client base? What's that company size that you're looking for?
So right now we're really looking for anyone that's, from 1 to 2 people all the way up to about maybe around a few hundred.
Okay.
There's a cutoff kind of around 5,000. If lenders process over 5,000 clients' data per year, then there's a more stringent set of requirements that is imposed on them that requires them to do full penetration tests and everything. And so those companies will probably have something in place, but any company that's smaller than that likely doesn't have anything protecting their borrowers right now.
Got it. It's such an important time right now, too. We're seeing such a rise in cybersecurity hacks. We're seeing data breaches. There's everything from, homegrown data breaches to international data breaches. What is it exactly that LendSafe does that is going to help these companies to better secure their borrowers' data?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for the most part, like kind of all criminals, hackers are looking for the lowest hanging fruit, kind of the easiest lender shop that they can break into and to access client data.
Got it.
So they're not going to be targeting, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to target your big banks than it is to be, your small mom and pop shop down the road. So our goal is to basically help that small mom and pop shop no longer be the lowest hanging fruit, to kind of, boost their defenses to more robustly and effectively protect their borrowers.
Oh, I love that. What is it about this area that kind of drove you into it? What was your background before this? I know you mentioned that you're also an owner in a brokerage, but there's got to be something else.
So previously before I came into the mortgage industry, I worked in cybersecurity.
Oh, okay.
So I primarily helped companies that looked to process credit cards to follow a set of data security standards that they're required to follow before they're allowed to process credit cards.
Got it.
So when I joined the mortgage industry, I was a little bit shocked that, for these smaller brokers or smaller lenders, that there's not a whole lot of options out there or, heavy regulation kind of detailing what they need to do in order to have a robust cybersecurity program. So about a year ago, I had a medical event that came up, and it forced me to take a step back out of the mortgage world. And as I did that, it kind of gave me the time to kind of combine the two of those worlds a little bit, and at least formulate a company that would at least provide resources to lenders who want to protect their data but don't know where to go.
Got it. That's very strategic and a great utilization of those skills that you already had. And I think you're right, because as we've gone out and audited these smaller companies. You're so right. I mean, so many of them don't have anything in place.
Right.
Because they haven't necessarily prioritized it, I guess. The utilization of where they have their people is where they've most needed them. It's what's making them money.
Right.
It's not necessarily protecting that borrower data, but that is such an important part of what they do and what they should be focusing
Absolutely.
on.
And we believe that as mortgage lenders, we have a responsibility to protect our borrower data. Last year alone in the banking industry, there was over a 1,300% increase in ransomware attacks. You know, when you look at statistics about companies that are successfully hacked, about 70% of those companies have less than 100 employees.
Oh, dang.
So it's not, you don't have to be a big name or a big bank to become a target.
Right.
In the current, digital age, every document you receive from borrowers, everything, you store, you process, you send on to your underwriters and beyond, those all open you up to liability. And so it's your responsibility to protect yourself and your borrowers by making sure that in this digital age, you kind of have a digital cybersecurity plan or information security plan to match.
Oh, absolutely. I personally had my information that was hacked from a mortgage company a few years ago, and they got everything from my social security number, they got my driver's license, and it was just wild how much that impacted my own life. And guess what? I didn't find out about it until the police contacted me. So having that proactive approach, having those policies and procedures in place so that you as a mortgage company know what to do and what steps to follow in the event of a data breach, in the event of being hacked, I mean, that's a huge, huge benefit to you and your strength and the information and benefits that you provide to your consumers.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We agree. We feel like it's huge. This is, you turn on the news every day and they're talking about cyber attacks. They're talking about, just a few days ago, the federal government warned that not only is with the conflict going on around the world, that doesn't only make our government a target, that makes our private companies a target as well. Because we have to remember, when it comes to cyber warfare, it's not limited to only government organizations. So it's definitely important for every mortgage lender out there to have some sort of cybersecurity plan or policies in place to help protect their borrowers.
I couldn't agree more. Well, thank you again so much for sitting down with me, Jordan. You have so much information to share. I know that your company provides just a wealth of benefits to these small and mid-sized mortgage companies. So I thank you again for being here.
Yeah, thanks, LaDonna.
Of course. Thanks again for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next time.